Imagine if living to 100 was not just a dream, but something real, something possible for you. Picture yourself still walking in your garden, cooking your favorite meals, laughing with your family, even at 90, 95, maybe even 100 years old. Sounds almost unbelievable, right? But in Japan, especially on the island of Okinawa, this is normal life. Many people there live past 100, and not just lying in bed. They stay active, alert, and joyful. So, what's their secret? It's not expensive pills. It's not strict diets. And it's definitely not fancy medical treatments. Instead, it's about simple daily choices. Choices that support the body, calm the mind, and fill life with energy. One of the most famous Japanese doctors, Dr. Shigeki Hinohara, lived until the age of 105. Can you imagine? He was still seeing patients and giving lectures even in his 90s. His secret wasn't complicated. It was about eating simple foods, moving his body, and keeping a light heart. Today, I want to share with you 5 of his most powerful lessons. If you are over 60, these small changes can bring more energy, better digestion, clearer thinking, and a longer, happier life. Let's begin with the very first lesson. It sounds simple, but it can change everything. In the West, we are often taught to finish your plate. Bigger portions feel like better value. We eat until we are full, sometimes even too full. But in Okinawa, they follow a different rule. It's called hara hachibu. This means eating until you are about 80% full. Not stuffed, not heavy, just pleasantly satisfied. Why does this matter? Eating less gives your body time to digest. It prevents weight gain, reduces stress on your organs, lowers inflammation, and keeps your energy steady. In fact, the National Institute on Aging has shown that eating slightly less, over many years, can help people live longer and stay healthier. Dr. Hinohara followed this practice his whole life. He enjoyed every bite, but he stopped eating before he was completely full. He believed this was one of the reasons he had so much energy, even at 90 years old. Let me share a story. Helen, age 68, always finished everything on her plate. She didn't like wasting food. But over time, she noticed her digestion slowing down. She felt tired after meals and struggled with sleep at night. Then she learned about hara hachibu. She started pausing during meals, asking herself, "Am I still hungry, or am I just eating out of habit?" Slowly, she began leaving a few bites on her plate. Within weeks, her digestion improved, her energy came back, and she even slept better. Here's the takeaway for you. Tonight, when you sit down for dinner, slow down. Take smaller bites. Breathe between mouthfuls. And when you feel about 70% or 80% full, stop. Give your body the gift of lightness. This one habit could add years to your life, and more importantly, life to your years. And this is just the beginning. Because the next secret from Japan's longevity diet might surprise you. It's about a type of protein that most people in the West overlook, but in Japan, it's a daily part of life. Now, let's talk about something that surprises many people. Protein. Here's the thing. When most of us think about protein, what comes to mind? For many, it's meat. A big steak. A piece of chicken. Maybe eggs. That's how most Western diets are built. But in Japan, especially in Okinawa, where people live the longest, protein often comes from a different source. Instead of heavy meats, they rely on beans and soy-based foods. Tofu, miso, natto, edamame, these are not just side dishes. They are the stars of the meal. And the results are remarkable. People stay strong, keep their hearts healthy, and protect their memory, all while eating these simple, plant-based foods. Why does this matter so much? Well, beans and soy are what we call complete proteins. That means they have all the essential building blocks your body needs to repair muscles, support your bones, and keep your immune system strong. And here's the best part. They do all this without the heavy fats and cholesterol that often come with meat. But there's more. Soy foods are rich in something called isoflavones. Don't worry about the big word. Simply put, isoflavones are natural compounds that calm inflammation in the body and help protect the heart. On top of that, these foods contain prebiotic fiber. That's a type of fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut, keeping your digestion smooth and your immune system strong. Dr. Hinohara himself loved tofu. He believed it helped keep his arteries clean and his body light. Even in his 90s, he credited tofu and other soy foods for his steady energy and sharp mind. Let me share another story. Frank, a 73-year-old retiree, avoided soy his whole life. He had heard rumors that it was bad for men because of hormones. But then he watched a program about Japanese centenarians and decided to give it a try. Twice a week, he swapped his usual red meat for a tofu stir-fry with bok choy, garlic, and ginger. Within just a few weeks, he noticed something. His blood pressure dropped. His afternoon joint pain was lighter. And best of all, he no longer needed that mid-afternoon nap. His energy carried him through the day. The lesson here is simple. You don't have to become vegetarian. You don't even need to give up meat. But try this. Replace just 2 of your weekly meat meals with beans, lentils, or tofu. You'll be giving your body protein, fiber, and protective compounds that support healthy aging. So, next time you're planning dinner, instead of reaching for steak or chicken, imagine a bowl of warm lentil soup, a tofu stir-fry, or a plate of black beans with rice. Light, nourishing, and so good for your body. And this brings us to the next Japanese secret. It's something many people in the West skip over completely, but in Japan, it's a daily ritual. It's not a pill. It's not a supplement. It's a living food that works wonders for your gut, your brain, and even your joints. Let's uncover that next. Now, here's a secret most people in the West miss completely. It's something small, but so powerful. In Japan, it's not just food. It's part of their culture, part of their daily joy. I'm talking about fermented foods. Let's pause for a moment. When you think of gut health, what comes to mind? For many, it's probiotic pills from the pharmacy, capsules, powders, or fancy supplements. But in Japan, people have been supporting their digestion for centuries with something much simpler, foods that are naturally alive. Dr. Hinohara himself started his mornings with a bowl of warm miso soup. To him, it wasn't just breakfast. It was comfort, energy, and health in a single bowl. Miso, natto, pickled vegetables, and fermented seaweed are staples in Okinawan homes. They may look humble, but they're packed with good bacteria, enzymes, and natural compounds that keep the body strong. So why does this matter for you, especially after 60? Well, as we age, our digestion often slows down. Meals that were once easy can start to feel heavy. Gas, bloating, constipation, they all become more common. Fermented foods help solve this problem. They bring in probiotics, which are friendly bacteria that live in your gut and help break down food. They also calm inflammation, protect your joints, and even boost your brain health. Here's something important. Fermented foods do more than pills. Why? Because they come in whole, real foods. That means the good bacteria are working together with natural fibers, minerals, and nutrients. It's teamwork that a capsule just can't copy. Let me share Claire's story. She's 70, a retired librarian. For years, she struggled with bloating and sluggish digestion. She tried everything: fiber powders, digestive enzymes, every probiotic on the shelf. Nothing worked. Then a friend gave her a jar of real miso paste. Claire began every morning with one simple cup of warm miso broth. Within 2 weeks, her bloating disappeared. Her energy was smoother. She didn't crash in the afternoon. She even said meals felt lighter, more enjoyable. And all it took was a spoonful of miso in hot water. That's the power of fermented foods. And you can start small too. You don't need to change your whole diet overnight. Try adding just one fermented food each day. Maybe a cup of miso soup in the morning, or a few slices of naturally fermented pickles with lunch. These little additions feed your gut, strengthen your immune system, and bring calm to your digestion. The key takeaway is this: don't think of fermented foods as strange or exotic. Think of them as natural helpers that have stood the test of time. They're one of the hidden reasons why so many Japanese people stay active and healthy into their 90s and beyond. And speaking of food choices, let's tackle one of the biggest diet myths in the West. You've probably heard it: carbs are bad, carbs will make you sick. But in Japan, some of the longest living people eat carbs every single day. Let's talk about the surprising kind of carbohydrate that could actually help you live longer. Let's be honest, when you hear the word carbs, what's the first thought that comes to mind? For many people in the West, it's something negative. We're told, carbs make you gain weight. Carbs are dangerous for seniors. Cut carbs if you want to be healthy. And yes, it's true that certain processed carbs, like white bread, sugary pastries, and sodas, can be harmful. But here's the thing: not all carbs are the same. In Okinawa, one of the longest living communities in the world, carbohydrates are not the enemy. In fact, they are the foundation of the diet. But the type of carb makes all the difference. Their main source? A humble, colorful food you might not eat often: Japanese purple sweet potatoes. These potatoes aren't just pretty. They're a powerhouse of nutrition. For Okinawan centenarians, purple sweet potatoes make up more than 60% of their daily calories. Imagine that. Most of their energy comes from this one food, and yet they stay slim, active, and free from many of the chronic diseases we struggle with in the West. So, what makes these sweet potatoes so special? First, they're loaded with anthocyanins. That's the natural purple pigment, and it acts like an antioxidant, protecting your blood vessels, calming inflammation, and slowing down aging at the cellular level. Second, they're rich in fiber, which helps keep your blood sugar steady and supports smooth digestion. Third, they provide potassium and vitamin C, both essential for heart health and a strong immune system. And here's the best part: they have a low glycemic index, which means they don't cause those sugar spikes and crashes that leave you tired. Dr. Hinohara often chose sweet potatoes instead of rice. He believed they gave gentle, steady energy without straining the body. Modern research agrees. Studies show that foods rich in anthocyanins, like purple sweet potatoes, are linked to healthier blood vessels, better memory, and even a lower risk of cognitive decline as we age. Let me tell you about Paul, who is 69. He was told to avoid carbs because of his diabetes risk. So he cut out all breads, pastas, even fruit. But instead of feeling better, his energy crashed, and his cravings grew stronger. His dietitian suggested trying steamed Japanese sweet potatoes. Plain, no oil, no sugar. Just simple and clean. Paul added half a cup to his lunch. Within 2 weeks, his energy stayed steady all afternoon, his cravings went down, and his blood sugar was more stable than it had been in months. Here's your takeaway: carbs are not the enemy. The wrong carbs, processed, sugary, refined, cause harm. But the right ones, like Japanese sweet potatoes, can give you lasting energy and protect your heart and brain. So next time you hear someone say, carbs are bad, remember the Okinawan centenarians. They've been eating sweet potatoes daily for generations and are still outliving the rest of the world. Now, before we finish, there's one final lesson from Japan's oldest doctor. And this one might be the most powerful of all. It's not about what you eat. It's about how you live. Let's talk about the rhythm of life, and why joy itself may be the greatest secret to longevity. We've talked about eating until you're 80% full. We've explored beans and soy for protein, the power of fermented foods, and the surprising gift of sweet potatoes. But now, let's step back for a moment. Because the final secret from Japan's oldest doctor is not about food at all. It's about something deeper, something that gives meaning to every bite and every breath. Dr. Hinohara believed that how you live is just as important as what you eat. He didn't spend his life counting calories or stressing about rules. Instead, he moved with a gentle rhythm. He walked every morning. He chose the stairs instead of the elevator, even in his 90s. He kept his curiosity alive, writing books, giving lectures, and meeting new people. And most of all, he embraced joy. He often said, "To stay young, you must have fun." Think about that for a moment. We spend so much energy worrying about health, about food, about age. But joy itself is medicine. A laugh with friends. A peaceful moment in the garden. A smile while sipping tea. These small joys keep the heart light and the mind sharp. Let me share Marie's story. She's 71. For years, she was caught in diet culture. Low carbs 1 week, no sugar the next. She was always chasing the newest health rule, but it left her anxious and tired. Then she learned about Dr. Hinohara. She made a small shift. She began her mornings with a gentle walk, ate slowly instead of rushing, and spent afternoons tending herbs on her windowsill. She added joy back into her day. Within months, she felt calmer, her digestion improved, and she said her evenings finally felt peaceful again. Here's the takeaway for you. Longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. It's about finding a rhythm, eating lightly, moving daily, laughing often, and keeping your mind curious. So as we wrap up, let's bring all of this together. Remember these 5 lessons from Japan's oldest doctor. 1. Stop eating when you feel 80% full. Give your body lightness and energy. 2. Add more plant-based proteins, beans, tofu, lentils. They're gentle, but powerful. 3. Include fermented foods like miso or pickles. They heal your gut and boost your immunity. 4. Choose smart carbs like sweet potatoes. They fuel you without the crash. 5. And finally, live with joy and rhythm. Move, smile, stay curious, and savor the little things. The beauty of these lessons is that you don't need to change everything at once. Just start small. 1 habit, 1 meal, 1 walk. Step by step, your body and mind will thank you. So tell me, which habit will you start with today? Share it in the comments below, because your story might inspire someone else watching. And stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll uncover a very common health food that may actually be making seniors feel older instead of younger. You don't want to miss it. Until then, remember, longevity isn't about perfection. It's about joy, balance, and small daily choices. Live with lightness, eat with gratitude, and never forget to smile. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 Japanese secrets do you feel inspired to try first? Maybe it's stopping at 80% full. Or maybe it's adding a spoonful of miso to your morning. Share it in the comments below, because your story could give hope to someone else watching. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up so more seniors can discover these simple but powerful habits. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Every week, we share practical tips to help you feel younger, stronger, and more joyful after 60. Remember, it's never too late to start. Every small step you take brings you closer to a longer, healthier, and happier life. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay well, stay curious, and keep smiling.